Let me lay down some rules, some ground rules. I'm here to learn as much as I'm here to give what I consider facts. I do not consider Owen an enemy. I'm not here to slander his name. I don't know everything. I don't have the solution to every question or anything like that. I just know what I know. The second thing is, I've seen that before we get started with what started this live stream, I've seen a lot of people engage in ad hominems. Owen Benjamin did, and maybe I did to some extent. And people are kind of disparaging Owen. People are disparaging me. I'm not about that, but the chat is a free speech zone. Say whatever you want to. I just hope that whatever you say is conducive to maybe carving out a freer society. I just want to start with what began. Oh yeah, there it goes. Okay, so let me get rid of Owen right there and let me get rid of me so you can see what started this whole thing. And I have a major disagreement with Owen in regard to the meaning of anarchy, how government plays itself out, what the value of government is in society. But there was a video that Owen put out that said, he titled it, it's this 13-minute video. He said, "The truth about the government and libertarianism. Anyone telling you otherwise is either dumb or evil." And I put a post up there that said, in the context of today's government, Owen Benjamin says, quote, "There's never been less tyranny from the government. Tyranny comes from your own sin." He also says, quote, "The government is the only reason libertarians have the free time and the ability to bitch about the government." And number three, quote, "The government isn't a problem. It's always our own sin." And so that's what started this whole thing. So I just want to pass the baton over to you.
Well, can I tell you my little backstory? Because you used to promote Davey Crocko. Do you remember that?
Promote him.
You would retweet him and say, "Good reporting from Davey Crocko." You want to hear a really funny story?
Okay.
Okay, so I was very persecuted from YouTube, Hollywood, all that stuff. And this is why I have an interesting backstory with you, is because you actually had my back when I was kicked off YouTube. So that's why I think there's something good about you. Like, that's why I'm doing this stream. I don't think you're just like a bad person, but I'll give you my side of the story when it comes to Davey Crocko. So I'm kicked off. I'm like a very successful comedian in Hollywood. I'm in sitcoms, Leno, 2 Comedy Central specials. Vince Vaughn has me as his closing act. So my friend and I, Vox Day, we set up our own streaming platform called unauthorized.tv, where we built our own servers and we built our own stuff. And little Davey Crocko, the now dead junkie, was saying that it was a scam and that me charging $5 a month was a scam and that we never have live streaming and we're running a scam on my quote unquote pay pigs, blah, blah, blah. It was not a scam. And it was my only option at that point to try and keep my comedy career going because I had to build it myself, okay?
There is going to be an app for unauthorized. There's going to be apps for iOS, for Android, and also there's going to be channels on some of the services like Netflix and so forth.
He's going to get on Netflix. Again, nothing has happened, guys. All they have is videos that have been uploaded to YouTube, brought over there with a new thumbnail. That's the only thing that's been done on unauthorized. People can tell you that this is going to happen and that's going to happen. It's been around for what now? 9 months? And they haven't found out chat, live streaming, how to monetize it, even how to put up an exclusive video. You would think if you own your own site, which they don't own their own site or servers, but if you're renting a thing and portraying it as your own site, you would think you would have made an intro, just some kind of video with Vox and Owen together talking about what it is. They don't even have that. Sorry, I gotta say it. If there's any Owen fans in here or people that know of Owen and what he says, if you've ever watched his channel, he has not made one upgrade with all the money people have sent him. 1 month he made $40,000. He made that completely clear. When he said they stole his money between his memberships, his super chat, and his monetization when he was getting it, not including PayPal and Patreon. He has not made one upgrade to his equipment. He still can't do pictures.
I'd like to point something else out on that.
Yeah.
He just told all of the bears yesterday that gave money to YouTube or through YouTube for memberships to contact him on whydidn'ttheylaugh.com or whatever, gmail.com, and with the title lawsuit, because he's going to try to get the Bears to class action lawsuit YouTube for that money.
Okay.
Now, it's not going to happen, but what I can tell you, because he's very cult leaderish, he's very mind control techniques. So when you have a common enemy, it brings people together. I think that's the goal of this fake lawsuit.
So then I'm now banned from touring. So I realized that the only time I can tour is if like someone I know lets me perform in their warehouse or whatever. And I tape an entire special at a listener of mine's wood shop, and we tape it. It's called Reluctant Warlord. It's hilarious. And I start realizing that the only way out is through the community. So I start crowdfunding for land so that I can do festivals and shows. And little Davey Crocko, that you promoted as a good journalist, starts saying that it's a paramilitary and that I am dangerous, kind of like what you just said in your little tweet. And he started pushing this narrative that it was a scam, that I was running a scam on my listeners, just like with Unauthorized.
Okay, we're back. Go ahead. I don't remember. You were saying something about Davey Crocko, and let me just say something. Let me just say something about Davey Crocko. Now I'm not perfect in this, but usually when I say somebody did good reporting, I don't like to throw a blanket over it and say he's a good reporter. I just say, hey, from what I understand, this is good reporting on this. So as far as Davey Crocko being a drug user and abuser or defaming somebody in an unjust way, I'm not down with that.
That doesn't matter. It's the story I'm laying out. I'm not saying that you're like his biggest fan, but it's like the story I'm about to lay out is why I'm not against the government. Okay. So that's why I'd really like to get to the next part, and then we can talk about the role of the government. So let me check in the chat. So Davey Crocko was saying that unauthorized.tv was a scam and that there's no live streaming, blah, 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 blah. So and then I buy land, I crowdfund land. Everyone chips in $400. They get a ticket to a festival, and so it was hard, and I made mistakes but it was like one of our only things we could do because I was banned from all these theaters. And so then they start doing the narrative that it's a scam and a scam and a scam. And this is when it gets interesting. So then they start pushing the local media to write that I am like a paramilitary group, blah, 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 and that I'm the next Ruby Ridge. And then they try and get the government involved, and they try and get sheriffs to write notices and all this. And all we're trying to do is have a place where we can have, festivals, get-togethers, comedy shows during COVID lockdowns. In a time when everything went dead, we wanted to take it into our own private hands. And this is back when I still thought the government was oppressive. And do our own thing and blah, blah, blah. And I saw these anarchists trying to use the government as a weapon to get me swatted or get me CPS sent to my house or animal control or all this stuff. And you were promoting these people. And I'm not holding it against you. You sound very nice. I like your parenting style. But it's like you did say that I have a brutal belief system, blah, blah, blah. So those narratives can really start manifesting until I'm in the front page of the local newspaper as a cult leader and all this stuff. And this is all coming from a guy that you promoted. And so then I have to go to an actual hearing where the locals air their grievances, and they're calling me a Nazi and a hate monger, and I'm going to start an army. It's just like insane. And they're very weak people and very scared. And a lot of them were drunk and they were junkies like Davey Crocko, and these nasty little people that try and ruin my businesses and try and ruin my ability to and threaten my family's life with their propaganda that I'm unhinged or I all this insane shit. It's like, I got close to the local law enforcement because they, all these anarchists kept trying to use the government to teach me a lesson. So I'd be the next Ruby Ridge and then really teach me a lesson.
Can I just jump in here real quick? I don't want to. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I just feel like you've said so many things that were so wrong, and it just demonstrates.
So but I'm not going to let you do that either.
Well,
my story isn't wrong. I just gave you testimony to my life.
Well,
so you can have it. You can have a disagreement in your view of the government, but everything I just said is true, and it was public, and everyone witnessed it. They can lie about me all they want, but that's my story. And you were promoting people that were running narratives about me that were fake and violent.
I was legally swatted. It wasn't as violent as that sounded. I actually made some friends with some people. But I'm not giving any details because the idiots who did it were bragging about it, giving details I never said on stream. That's why I never gave details, because I am a long thinker. So as soon as I caught a few of them saying details I never said online, I got it to the detective who's working on it. May take a while, may take a week, may take a year, I don't know. But now that I'm pretty sure we figured out who it was, I can tell you why I didn't tell any details, and I never will. Because on their stupid little chats, and we got VFM and bears everywhere, guys. You think your little Discords and your little Reddits and you don't think that we always have people reading that stuff? And so when people bragged about what they did without any details I said, that's how you catch people, idiots.
In early 2020, I was in contact with Owen Benjamin requesting he attempt to locate the private Discord server that would have the recording of Mike Sheely admitting to making the CPS call. Neither of us were able to find any recording from ROTC radio of him admitting to it. However, Owen believes either Mike Sheely or the individual who sent the email were involved or responsible, as they knew things about the situation that were not publicly released.
As soon as I caught a few of them saying details I never said online, I got it to the detective.
They contacted me because somebody tried to set me up to seem as if I were planning it in like a Discord.
You think your little Discord
server that would have the recording of Mike Sheely admitting to making the CPS call. And then I had to talk to the cops, and I'm like, look, I barely use Discord. If you want access to my Discord, I'll give it to you.
That were fake and violent, and they were attempting to use the government to infringe on my rights, and the government
I was
did not.
promoting Davey Crocko in his narrative against you. In his narrative against you. I was specifically saying, hey. I was saying what Davey Crocko said about Owen Benjamin here is true. You're saying that I was saying that? Because I've never said that.
No, you said he was doing good reporting. You were giving him credibility as a journalist. That's why I think we need more regulations. Yeah, I mean, you're given as much as you want. If you fuck with the government, if you fuck with the cartel, they're going to fuck with you back, though. You try and sell your fentanyl, like Davey Crocko. That's why he's a dead junkie. Right now he's dead because of the fentanyl. Do you want more freedom in commerce to sell fentanyl to your buddy Davey Crocko's fucking worm food?
How do you know the fentanyl? How do you know the fentanyl problem wasn't created by the government?
You can't buy it at the gas station.
You ever heard of Freeway Ricky Ross and the Iran-Contra affair and the running of cocaine and the CIA spy planes? You ever heard of that?
Yeah. Do you think you can buy crack right now at the mobile?
Do you think that stopped?
You bitch on Rumble and whine, and you give people PTSD with your little cop videos, which is like your pornography. You're just like, look, the old bitch is getting hit by a baton, and everyone's like, we got to do something. And it's like, well, what do we do, Brian? And you're like, man, Owen Benjamin, right? Fuck that guy. Fuck the guy that actually had some solutions, right? And then people like Davey Crocko that you promoted were trying to take down my ability to actually have solutions.
That's pretty disingenuous. Pretty disingenuous there, man.
It's not. You retweet him. You gave him validity as he was saying that I was running a fucking paramilitary and running a scam.
I never said that. I didn't even know about that till I read this stupid.
Ryan, Ryan, You're lying again.
No. I never said Davey Crocko did a good job exposing Owen Benjamin for the paramilitary operation he was running. I never said that.
I never claimed that. I said that you were giving him.
No. Go ahead. Sorry, I thought it was funny. I apologize. I'll try to play by your rules. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you mean like honesty and not lying? I never once said that you claimed I was doing that. I said Davey Crocko was doing it, and you were promoting him as a journalist. That's a fact.
I never promoted Davey Crocko as a journalist. I said this piece of work that he did appears to me to be above board.
Great work. That like you have to actively go out of your way to put yourself in a position where the government fucks with you. I've been fucked with by a lot of people and a lot of corporations and a lot of shit. The one group that is not fucking with me is the government. In fact, when I was getting swatted, they became apologetic and they put me in a list where when these pieces of shit like Davey Crocko and the other people doing good work out there, when they would call up and say I was abusing my kids or whatever the fuck, they would call me and ask me. And these are people, this was a liberal area before and then now in Idaho. The government is just trying to do their job, man. Okay, well, if they actually donated, they're on a portal where we actually are in communication with all of them where we have their emails if they actually donated. What you just read is called a troll, Brian, and they're lying because every donor, we have their contact information that they gave us their information. At first, I was a little run and gun with the first one with Ursa Rio. And I had to retroactively make sure that I had everything in a list and then I could contact all of them. And while I was doing that, your buddy Davey Crocko was trying
He's
to
not my buddy. Come on, that's disingenuous though. He's not my buddy. I've never go ahead.
He's that junkie that you used to promote. Yeah. And it's part of the story, Brian, because that guy was saying that I was doing a scam and he got the sheriff's department to come shut me down because they said it was a zoning violation, even though we were building cabins that were up to code. So I had to shut down for 2 years as I fought that because of those guys. And this very people that you're about to start reading, they're lying, and they just want to create a narrative where you can't function in a private manner. That's the irony of your position, is a lot of these people are protected by the government because if there wasn't a government, people would seek justice themselves. And that's what people like you don't seem to really understand because I don't think you've thought about the real world. When you and your little minions try to fuck with a man's ability to earn a living or create something privately, and they're like, secretly, that's like criminal actions.
I agree.
And
I would never do that.
The person you just read was out of Australia, right? These are like a lot of them are foreign agents.
Australia? I don't know.
And you're just going to give them credibility like you did Davey Crocko.
I'm not giving him credit. Right? I'm just reading super chats. Brother. Hey.
Oh, brother. We're all just brothers here. I read the
well,
next
we
one.
are.
And I hope you spend that money on some good ranch dressing. Go on, Brian. Next one.